Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak B'dash. I want to say Shalom to Akhman Akhwath out there, pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. So this one's on the topic of a NATO situation going on. I got this from Reddit today. I'm going to actually just open up the link here. It's from politico.eu. And sure, yeah, whatever. But it says, NATO allies cannot rely on America for their defense, warns the U.S. defense chief. It's deterrence and peace through strength, but it cannot be reliance. The U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says. So you see it's this Edomite here. It says, in the recent months, U.S. President Donald Trump has repeatedly cast doubt on Washington's commitment to NATO's Mutual Defense Clause, known as Article 5. So, boy, it's brewing. All right? It is brewing. Revelation 17 and 16 is in the mix. It's happening. Well, it's not happening yet, but the tides that need to be turned for it are happening. And we'll get that scripture in just a minute. But I wanted to get, I really want to talk about what Article 5 is for NATO. Article 5, NATO's Article 5 is a core principle of the alliance. It's a core principle, all right? It's something that this NATO alliance was built upon, okay? And it says, NATO's Article 5, a core principle of the alliance, states that an armed attack against one member is considered an attack against all, okay? It says it triggers a collective defense response where each member is obligated to assist the attack member. For example, if someone attacked Germany because the United States is an ally to them, the United States would be obligated to go and put boots on ground in Germany. They don't want to do that anymore. They say, fuck you. All right, that's not part of what this is, yada, yada, yada. Now, this is all part of the horns turning against the beast. All right, the beast system is Slovakia. The beast system encompasses it all. The horns turning against the whore. Okay? Now, I want to get the Whore of Babylon GMS and see if I can find the picture. Bear with me. The beast. GMS. Here it is. So you can see it here. Oh, the other picture was better. It says, the beast with 7 heads and 10 horns. I'm going to actually save this image and just use it as the image for, the lesson today. So you can see it. The beast with 7 heads and 10 horns is NATO. Of course, this is biblical. We're not going to have enough time to just go through all of it and prove everything because there's a lot. And it's a lot of history and linking up things as well. And I'm not even the best guy to do that. That'd be more something you can go to the apostles for of Great Millstone. Again, I'm not part of GMS, but, that's who I learned from. And I teach the same as them, so I recommend you do the same. All right, learn from them and, they're true affiliates. All right, which, are very few and far in between these days. Everybody's against GMS, which shows you that they're the true teachers, the true preachers, all right? The GMS and their true affiliates, the people that teach in the same way, they're the true prophets because, the prophets are hated. They're not a loved individuals, all right? They're not a loved people, all right? They're a hated people. You got to realize the prophets of old were actually put to death, all right? They didn't want to hear these prophecies. They didn't want to hear the truth. So they wanted to kill him, all right? Just like they wanted to and were successful in a way of killing Yahweh Shai because they didn't want the truth to be spoke, all right? And they take it as an active what's the word I want to use? A hostile event, okay? So they want to put you to death for it, right? So, the beast with 7 heads and 10 horns is NATO, all right? And the beast with 7 heads is the 7 governments and kingdoms ruled by Esau. Esau, all right, Edom is the so-called white man of the day. Not every so-called white person is an Edomite, but the vast majority are, all right? So you can see that right on the top, America, it's a little blurry because it doesn't want to load. But right on top, you got America, all right, Revelation 17:1, talking about the great whore, all right? That is the great whore. And then, of course, you have the nations down below it. All right, you have Germania Major, the Romans, the French, the Spanish, Germania Minor, the British, and the Greeks, all right, which all together, make up the beast, all right, all together you have the 7 horns and 10, the 7 heads and 10 horns is NATO, so all the ones on the bottom you can see is part of NATO, of course, encompassing America as well, all right, the Great Whore, and then, you have the 10 horns that represent the EU, all right, so you got the 7 heads, and then you got the 10 horns, which NATO and the EU. All right, so that's the whole situation. And you got, if you look in who's in NATO, you got right here, I can barely read them. I wish I could get this in a better, this is a low quality image. Let me see if I can find a better version of it. And I'm going to have to close it out in a minute because I got to run up in here and get some food, and this place closing in just a minute. And I'll piece it back together once I'm done and back with it. But let me see if I can search. Can I search? Search. Okay, higher quality, Lord willing. Nah. A little bit. I'll save it. It's a little bit higher quality, and that's all we really needed, because I can see here now. So you can see Greece, Italy, Spain, France, West Germany, United Kingdom, Portugal, Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg, Canada, Norway, Denmark, Iceland, Turkey, United States, Poland, Hungary, Czech Republic. The newest addition, I believe, is Sweden. And these nations make up NATO, which is the beast. So, and the Great Whore, who is America, as you can see on the top, is really actively, fucking things up. All right, this Donald Trump puppet, all right, is being used by these elites to, I don't know what they're planning. I don't know, and, I know, some of the stuff they're planning. I don't know what their goal is with this, because they're really fucking up everything. They're really making, I'm sure it's not really their goal, and the Lord's working against them, because, their tourism is down. You got American citizens being deported. You got the economy in an all-time low, a recession. All right, people losing their jobs. People are on more unemployment. People are on more food stamps. People are on more government assistance. You got all that shit going down. You got now what do they call them? Foreign relationships are real down. All right, you got all these people that were once allies now turning against Babylon, and I don't know what they're seeking to gain from this. I don't know if they want to be, Trump, this puppet, his whole thing is independence. They want to be independent and just, be self-sufficient in just America. And no country is truly self-sufficient like that. They all rely on outside help as a team. All right, but United States doesn't want to play fair with it, and it's really fucking them. All right, it's really fucking them, and this is really what's going to come around and bite them in the ass, and it's going to get them. So I'm going to get Galatians 6 and 7, then I'm going to close it, and then I'll reopen it once I'm done. But Galatians 6 and 7 says, "Be not deceived, Yahweh is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap." Now we use this for people that are doing wickedness and evil, and it's true. But, what you plant is what you sow is, if you do something, that same thing that you do is going to happen back to you. And right now, what America, is doing as a whole is they're casting off all these nations saying, we're not going to help you. So they're going to reap what they sow. In the end days, when Babylon's getting fucked up, all these other, help us. And they're saying, nah, fuck you. All right, nah, because you bounced out on us. Fuck you. We're not doing shit for you. So they're going to reap what they sow, man. All right? Absolutely, they're going to reap what they sow. They're going to reap what they sow, and they hear this whole time. They're going to be like, we need help, because Russia or whoever, all these places are going to be trying to start issues with them. And they're saying, nah, fuck you. All right? You didn't want to follow the NATO rules. You didn't want to do any of this. Fuck you. All right? You tried to do all this, and you turned your back on us. Fuck you. Matter of fact, we're with them. We're with Russia. We're with this, who's another person? China. We're with China. We're with Russia. We're with North Korea. And all these places that are like that, they're like, we're with them. Fuck you. All right? Matter of fact, we're gonna make war with you. All right? We're on their side, not your side. Fuck you. And America's going to be completely, utterly destroyed. That's what's going to happen. And they're really fucking shit up. And it's great. Call all you how about Shimmy Shy, man. Because they're really tearing up the foundation of society and the what America once had. Make America great again. Make America worse again. Right? So I'll be right back. I'm going to close it out there. I'll be right back. Lord willing. All right, we're back. So yeah, man, they're really messing this place up. And from an outside, from an outside inside perspective, knowing about this truth. And then also, being from a person that, was once not in this truth, it's really hard to see what it is, that they're trying to accomplish here, because they're really fucking it up. And honestly, I just think it's got to be the Lord just causing them to, like, you got to realize this is the truth. The Esau is losing it, right? They're not as articulate, they're not as cunning and even deceptive as they used to be. There's a lot more shit that's peeking through the cracks. A lot of their dirty laundry is getting aired out. Things like Epstein Island and shit, like Diddy and all the shit you have to do in Hollywood to get by. And it's not as, closed off and as secretive as it once was. And the Edomites, they're really losing their touch, man. And it's because of the Most High, all right, that's doing it to them and removing this ability. You got to realize that even the position that they're in, all right, it was granted by Yahweh Shem Shai, because they are a base man, okay, a base men, all right, children of fools, viler than the earth, they're base men, okay, base men. It's like think about like a game without any of the expansion packs. Like if any of you played Sims, if you haven't, your girlfriend probably has, right, or your wife. And, Sims without any expansion packs, it's boring as shit, right? There's nothing to do. There's hardly anything to decorate your houses with. There's hardly any clothes or hairstyles. There's not as many places to live. It doesn't have dogs. It doesn't have seasons. It doesn't have vampires. It doesn't have half the shit that you can do. It doesn't have, the fame and the city life type shit. It doesn't have half the things you can do if you got the expansion packs. Now, Jake, we got the expansion packs. We're the salt of the earth, so we got all of it, all right? You're like, damn, there's so much to do. Esau's base man, all right? Hell, even some of the heathens got a little bit of an expansion pack, one or two, right? Not like Jake's got the fully upgraded game with all the expansion packs, all the add-ons, all right? All those different types of things, all right? But, we got that, but the other heathens, they at least got one or two expansion packs, a little bit of something, a little bit of culture, right? Esau doesn't have that. They're base men. They got nothing. Okay? They have nothing. And they're weak. You got to realize, if you go back to the scripture, it says one people shall be stronger than the other, and the oldest shall serve the younger. All right? And we're the younger brother because Esau came out first. So they're weak. They're pathetic. Okay? And this is not a man that could be in a position of ultimate power like how he's in now. The Lord put Esau in that predicament. Okay, to be a whooping stick to us, all right, because we're in our punishment, okay, and who is our arch enemy, our nemesis, all right, the villain, all right, we're the protagonists, they're the antagonists, right? Who is the villain? Okay, Esau, they're our primary enemy. So who better to put into power if we got into trouble and to have an enemy over us? Esau, Edom, all right, our big brother. So. But the Lord, as we get closer to the end, is really making this guy fall, removing these things from him. And all these things that they're doing, they're going to get back on them. All right? Back to the scripture, Galatians 6 and 7, because I had to rush through it a little bit. Be not deceived. Yahweh is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. All the wickedness that you do, that comes back on you. All right? And to show you proof of that, in the scriptures, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. That shows you that that's something that they sowed. Okay, they sowed that, and they're gonna reap that. Okay, they sowed that wickedness, sowed into taking people captives, right? Having captives, slaves. So they're gonna get that back, right? They're gonna be slaves. Esau really doesn't know what it's like yet to be slaves. Some of them were slaves, a few, all right, not many. Like I said, you might have had somebody through the bloodline, because it always goes back to your father. If they got with a Jake woman, that's going to be a chocolate-covered baby. Now, some of those babies might have grown up and been enslaved, right? Because they look like so-called Negroes. And they might have went through that for a time, for a little bit of a season. But at the end of the day, that was a very insulated and isolated, insulated. That was insulated works, insulated and isolated event. All right, they didn't, as a nation as a whole, they've never been in captivity like that. Jake has. All right, whether it's so-called Negroes, Latinos, or Native Americans, these guys haven't got a taste of their own medicine yet. Right? They've gotten a lick. All right, maybe a tiny droplet of what their medicine can do, but they've never really tasted their medicine. Right? So they've never had these things come on them like they've, done to us and other nations, primarily us. Right? The other nations have suffered at the hands of Esau as well. All right, but not as much as we have. Okay? Hell, even Esau suffered at the hands of Esau. That's how devilish this devil is. His own people suffer at his own hands. Right? They're like it's an elite tier. You got the elites that are really hoarding all the wealth, hoarding all the blessing, and doing all that. And the rest of the Edomites don't really see any of the trickle down. All right? They have other blessings, though, in the world, but they don't really see any of the true abundance of wealth like that. They get it in other ways. And they're generally still more wealthy than the average person, but they don't get it like the elites have it. They're hoarding trillions of dollars, right? So all these things that this devil has done, man, they're going to get that shit right on back. And they're not going to be happy about it, okay? And you know how these American Edomites are, is they're very, you got different Edomites, all right? Edomites all over. You got, the European Edomites, and you have the American Edomites. You got all four different flavors of the European Edomites. But the European Edomites are generally more intelligent, all right? They're a more intelligent people than Esau Edom in America. The American Edomite is, the dumbest individual ever, other than probably Elam, all right? And they're very, 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 very stupid, all right? They don't understand things. So these are the same type of devils that in the end days, or coming into it, because we're already in the end days, but coming in really when it's about to get really hot and nukes about to get launched, they're going to be upset that why aren't you with us? We've always been your allies. Well, you didn't help them, all right? So why would they help you? You're literally trying to really almost disband NATO by what you're doing, because that's one of the core principles that was founded upon, right? And if here it is, Germany or Ukraine or any of these other places, they're in a turmoil, and you say, oh, we don't have to help you, and they're going through a hell, all right, a war, someone trying to take their land or do whatever, and you said, we're not going to help you, we're not going to give you aid, we're not going to put boots on grounds over there, we're not going to do any of that type of shit. You can't expect when all of a sudden these people are coming against you for them to help you. You should expect the same thing. Oh, sorry, no, we're not going to do any of that. No, sorry. But Esau over here in America, when that happens, they're, well, why aren't you helping us? We fucking made you, goddammit. We helped you. No. All right, years worth of friendship and alliances can be disbanded in a second, in a minute. And that's what they're doing right now. They're ruining these relations. They're ruining these things. And that's all through Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. All through Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So, and these devils, they're doing it in lieu of power. They want to seem more strong. But every time these devils, especially under Trump, every time these devils try to make a power play, they just look more weak. They just end up looking more weak. Again, because the Lord's revealing these devils. All right? This devil's being revealed. And they're not that same devil that they once were. I mean, they are by fundamentals and principles, but they're not as powerful. Okay? They stopped going to the gym, stopped drinking their protein shakes, stopped doing their exercises. Now all they do is sit around, right? And they got weak, all right? They're not as persuasive. They're not as deceptive, all right? They can't even lie as good, okay? And they're not as strong as a militant force as they once were. They're collapsing, okay? And the whole world knows it but the American, okay? The whole world knows it but the American. Think of that. When you go on Reddit, Reddit's really like a melting pot of people, okay? You got people from different places, different nations, and different backgrounds, right? And not all of them are American. And a lot of them are saying, America's an embarrassment. You even got the Americans saying that now. Well, a lot of them saying America's an embarrassment. They're weak. All right, the Americans are dumb. They're stupid. They don't know what's going on. We're sick of these fucking people. We don't want anything to do with them anymore. Just separate from them. They're evil. All right, they're racists, right? They are too, but they don't want to admit it. America's under a fascist regime. All right, we don't need to be associated with them. Just separate from them. These foreign devils, these European devils, don't even want association with the Edomite devil. The same Edomites, the devils of America, the Babylonian Edomites. They don't want to be associated, right? You got to realize what type of fucked situation you got to be in when it's dissolving like this. Nothing like this has ever happened before. Nothing like NATO being disbanded. All right, and it's not being disbanded. All right, they're still the beast. But I mean, a fundamental and core principle is being disbanded, right? And them just really, it's really going to be, they're just biting themselves in the ass, man. And they're now saying, like going the title, these allies, they cannot rely on America. They can't rely on us for help, right? Well, that's one of the core principles of what even funded NATO. So what's NATO for then? Now. And you're doing all these different types of things. Let's get Sirach 27:26. And it reads, Whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that setteth a trap shall be taken therein. And that's another thing these devils like to do. They like to dig pits, all right, for people to stumble into and do all that stuff. And you might be asking, and we use this for a lot. Usually this is revenge. You're trying to set someone up for failure. And if you try to set someone up for failure, guess what? You'll be set up for failure. All right? The Lord doesn't like it when you do that type of stuff. And this is all valued. Again, this Bible is written to us, Israelites. Okay? We're not supposed to be doing this. All right? But this shows you people, it's a wicked act. That's why we're not supposed to be doing it. And it shows you that this is a wicked act. And yes, it's talking to Jake, but it's also, for Esau, it shows you that what they're doing is wicked. Okay? It's a wicked act, and the Lord doesn't like wickedness. Okay? He despises it. And these devils are digging pits. And, right now what they're digging that pit is, if I had to guess, because Esau loves doing this, America loves doing this, they like digging a pit for, one of these people to fall into, and then they fall into that pit, and they say, oh, now you need our help, huh? Now you need our help. Oh, do you need, Big Brother America's help? Oh, look, they always need our help. They always need our help. But you're going to dig that hole, and this time you're going to fall in it, and you're going to need that help, and you're not going to be able to get it. You're used to doing that with these other nations. You're used to doing that to your allies and these other nations that you're not allied with. Digging these pits. Oh, yeah, well, hey, we could, we're America, we're strong, we could help you out. We could help you. Just give us a little bit of oil, or, we could help you out. Oh, what is that? Oh, yeah, UK. Oh, England, need our help again, huh? Just like Dunkirk. Oh, just like World War II, huh? Need our help again? All right. Well, we always do the heavy lifting. I guess we'll help you out, right? And they'll do that shit and play those little fuck-ass games. And this time, they're going to dig that hole thinking that they're going to make someone fall in it, and they're going to fall into it. All right, they're going to fall into that pit, and you're going to have these, what is that? Oh, what is that, bud? Oh, you need a little help from old Canada here, huh? You need a little, oh, no, you're always terrible to us, bud. You're always horrible. You always said terrible things, yeah. You always made fun of Canada, said we were weak, eh? No, I'm not going to help you now. And they're going to, come on, man, we're next door neighbors. We always tell, oh, no, you called us a bunch of names, called us weak. We're not going to help you anymore, eh? You're on your own. And America, oh, you motherfuckers. Right? You're like, England. Oh, I'm sorry, mate. Not going to be able to do it. See, you always talk shit about us. Said, we were weak, couldn't do it on our own. Always said we needed a bailout from America. Not going to happen this time, mate. Sorry. Not going to happen. And you pissed off Germany. Not trying to get in a tussle with them. Oh, come on, Germany. You have us. Oh, no, you pissed us. However they do that. You have pissed us off. Very, very bad. You've pissed us off terribly. Right? And come on, please. Come on, man. Anybody, Ukraine, you have not helped us as much as you said you should have helped us, right? And that's anybody, please. China, like Japan, no, you're already occupied. Somebody, please help. And you're going to be asked out. You're going to be asked out because you're going to burn all of your fucking bridges. You ever heard that saying, don't burn your bridges? All right? Because you keep on burning bridges with people, You might have these people, here it is, you're a piece of shit in your family. You're a drug addict or whatever. Start stealing from your mom. And your mom drops you. She don't want nothing to deal with you. And your grandma says, oh, well, someone needs to help him or her. So then you do that and you start stealing from your grandma. You start smoking in her house where she said you couldn't. Now you burn your bridges with her. But you got an uncle. I'll go stay with my uncle for a little bit. He'll help me out. And then when you do that, start pissing your uncle off. Now your uncle don't want to do nothing with you. Now you got 3 people that don't know how to deal with you. And it's spreading around. Oh, so-and-so's a piece of shit. All they do is steal and do drugs and drink and stay around the house. They don't want to get no job. Yada, yada, yada. And then it spreads everywhere. And finally, do you want it? No. I heard what your mom, your grandma, your auntie said, and your uncle. I heard what they all said. I don't want nothing to do with you. What about you, cousin? Nah. No. Everybody told me what you were like. I ain't trying to get my stuff stole. Well, Please, what about you, Grandpa? Nope, not gonna help you either. Not gonna help you. Nope, you're on your own. And you burnt all of your bridges. Here it was. You had people that were willing to help you, but you burnt all your bridges. You fucked them. All right, you fucked them. You took from them. You did this to them. You talked shit about them. You did this and that, and now no one wants to help you. And that's what's happening right now with America. They're talking this shit. Oh, America, we're the biggest and baddest nation. We're the strongest. No one can come against America. We're super strong. No one can do it. Everyone wants to be America. You know what they said? They said, I want to be like America. They can't be like America. We're strong. We're making America great again. We're stronger than we've ever been. Strongest military. Realize everybody is just fucking laughing at you. All right? Thinks you're a laughing stock, and you're weaker than you've ever been. You're not stronger than you've ever been. You're weaker. All right? And you're talking that shit. We're always bailing out every other country. They always need our help. They're struggling. They say, America helped me. And we help them. Because we're nice. That's who we are. Right? And you think these other nations that are allied with you like that shit? No. Think about it if you had a friend. Yeah, man, Damian, I'm friends with Damian, but he's got a fucked up haircut. His eyes look fucking weird, squinty, kind of ugly looking, honestly. He looked like half Asian, but with like a mix of something else in it. He looked like Asian, but like with a little bit of a Forrest Whitaker eye, honestly, low key, bro. He be looking weird. And he stink. And honestly, his game is weak, bro. He ain't be getting no girls ever, bro. Ain't no girl ever want to fuck him. And he stinks. He's weird. His beard's patchy. Don't even grow in, bro. I'll tell your friend. Yo, I'm friends with Damian. Yeah, I'm friends with him. Well, you're just talking all this shit about him, bro. Talking all this shit about him. No, I'm friends with him. I'm friends with him. Yo, he's getting in a fight right now. You gonna help him? Nah. I don't really fucking with him like that. I ain't gonna do all of that. I mean, I fuck with him, but I don't fuck with him like that. You know what I mean? Like, we're friends and all, but I mean, I ain't gonna go and catch a fade because of him. And then meanwhile, when he's in a fade, Damian, help, Damian, help. Hey, man, I heard all that shit you were talking, bruh. Matter of fact, I might just join in. Fuck you. You're my friend. What do you mean you were my friend? You talk shit, said I have a fucked up hairline, said I stink, said I ain't got no game, said I got fucked up weird looking Forrest Whitaker eyes. And I was getting my ass beat that day, and you didn't even jump in, you said you didn't fuck with me like that. No, I didn't mean it, man. Come on. No, fuck you, man. Fuck you. All right? Fuck you. Eat shit. All right? And that's what's going to happen. It's exactly the precise situation that's going to happen with these devils. Well, come on, somebody help us, please. Now, at the end days, are they all going to try to fight against Yahushai? Yes. But they're not going to be. They'll be allied in that moment, just trying to fight off the Lord as Edomites. But all the war stuff up into that, they're not going to be there. They're going to be completely against each other. It's not going to be good. All right, the only time they're going to, again, get together to try to do one last hurrah is they're all going to get together for one last hurrah to try to take down the Lord and his angels, all right, with them and the kings and their angels, which are their militaries. They're going to try to fight against the Lord, shooting bombs and nukes at him, and it's just going to be retarded because he's a god, right? So you can't, you can't kill a god, right? Reminds me of that saying from Morrowind, if any of you brothers. I know a lot of Jake ain't as nerdy, but Morrowind, I'm a god. How can you kill a god? Right? So, how are you going to kill a god? How are you going to kill Yahushai? Okay? How are you going to kill him? He's invincible. He can't be killed. Him nor his father. He can't be killed. All right? You know, he was on the cross and he died that time, but then, something different took place. All right? After he left, he's different now. Okay? Can't be killed. He's celestial. All right? He's a... he doesn't have a body like that to be killed. I mean, he's in one, but he can't be killed like that, if you get what I'm saying. It's not like men where you can go up and you can stab us and make us bleed. He's not like that. All right? He's different. Okay? And, you devils out here, you can't really understand that because, the Most High is not in all your thoughts, as the scriptures say. You think you're going to be able to go and do something to Yahweh. Here it is. He's coming with chariots and destroying this place and with nukes and with bombs and all this type stuff. You think you're going to somehow kill him? How? You can't. And they try to make it seem like the Lord and his angels are imperfect. All right? Like they're imperfect. And they're not, like there's a I don't know, like they got an Achilles heel, right? Oh, if they seem like that, but if you just do it this way, no, that ain't how it works. All right, they try to make things seem weak, like they say, oh, there was a UFO that crash landed. UFOs don't crash land, right? They're not like a fucking car. All right, oops, went off the wrong path. No, it's the Lord's angel and the Lord's vessels. They're not fucking. They know how to drive. They're not fucking up. Oh, shit, we took a wrong left. Oh, no, watch out for that cloud. And they crash. No. How the fuck are you even going to crash in the first place? There's nothing to collide into up there. What are you going to crash? What, they ran out of space gas? They're not fucking powered like that by gas. Esau says, we actually know about these vessels because one crashed. As soon as I hear that, I said, it's fake. Me and my wife will be watching a show. It'll be like, or something like that with those documentaries where they talk about like, UFOs or like sometimes aliens. It ain't nothing about aliens, but usually when it's something about aliens, they talk about chariots as well. It's interesting to see those types of things. And as soon as they say, they crash landed, we found a little bit, like, that's bullshit. They're lying. That's a fake ass story. It ain't real. Nothing ever crash landed. Nothing ever crash landed. You think what? You think they're like the Lord and his angels are dumbasses or something? They're crashing and stuff? No. That's something that happens on Earth with a vehicle. What? They were racing chariots and one of them turned too fast, and there ain't nothing to even crash in up there, dummy. So when we hear that shit, a UFO, it crashed, and we examined it. No, it didn't crash. You might have found some piece of some fucking tinfoil or something, but it definitely wasn't from a chariot. All right, you wish you could have a vessel that was that perfectly designed. All right. Doesn't have to consume fuel like that, at least that I know of. It goes up and down, in and out. It can vanish. It can go, just disappear like that. It can dematerialize. One can turn into 5. All right, it can change colors. It can go in and out, do all the different shapes. You wish you had something like that, man. You're at those laboratories right now, places like Area 51. Everyone's like, what do they got? Area 51, Area 51. What are they doing at Area 51? They tell you what Area 51 is. What's all this fucking mystery about what Area 51 is? It's not that goddamn... living in Las Vegas here, everyone's, Area 51, Area 51. Bro, Area 51 ain't shit, all right? Area 51, if you go up there, I've never been up there, all right? But if you go up there, I've seen the signs. If you go up to Area 51, you see right there that it is property of the Air Force. Air Force, probably not Army, not Marines, not Navy, Air Force. They are testing aeronautics. It is an aeronautics research department of classified. It is a classified aeronautics research department. That is what they're testing there. That's it. All right? That is it. Now, do I know 100%? No, because, of course, I don't have clearance. But that's what it is. And it's been speculated that's that for a very long time. You got to realize, if you look at shit like the B-50, the B-52 bomber and stuff like that, that shit looks hella classified. It looks hella advanced. All right? Actually, I already got it open. But if you go and look up B-52 bomber, B-52 bomber, right? You go and look this motherfucker. That looks quite advanced. All right? You can see it. I can't get it to pull up like that. It's my Wi-Fi. But it looks quite advanced. All right? You see it. Right? I was thinking of the B-2 bomber. I'll pull that up. But the B-52 bomber looks a little advanced as well. You want to know when this motherfucker came out? Let's go down here. Introduced 1955. So when was the B-52 bomber being tested? Early 1950s. It was before that. It was before that. Here, I'll show you. Maybe not on this one. Okay, I'm going to see if I can actually talk to it, and it will record it. So there you go. So that's the type of shit they do. They keep that shit under lock. Okay. Anyway, quick little thing, because you still got people out there. Well, it's Area 51, and it's to keep you from thinking about Area 50. All right, Area 49. All right, Area 52, 53. So it's keep you from thinking about those fucking places. All right, the B-2 bomber. Look at this motherfucker. This still, you can tell they took some inspiration from chariots when designing this. All right, but again, it don't work like a chariot. Okay, it doesn't work like a chariot, and it actually looks more like a hawk. But you can tell that they want a very futuristic type vibe, and you can tell that it has that look. Okay, it has that look. You know, they probably saw chariots and were like, man, we want something like that, and this is about as best as they could do, right? So yeah, man, and you know, their inventions aren't as, you know, the weapons and the planes, you know, everybody still to this day, you get all these new planes coming out, and everyone's talking about the B-51, the B-2, all right, the F-16s, all right, F-17s, F-18s, whatever, right? All these different type of ones. They're not talking about the new planes that came out, because they're remembering things. They're remembering the ones from when the military was still pretty powerful. And the really last hurrah, the big one that they had was, I mean, Vietnam really showed their weakness in the presence in the 70s quite a bit, but their last hurrah was really the Iraq and Afghanistan war. They had a little bit of strong, but they were coasting off of 9/11 for that. All right, well, at least for the Iraq war, but or the Afghanistan war. I always get them confused, but you know, they were coasting off the what's the word? What do they call it? The patriotism that came from that. You know, we're gonna get these fuckers, and America's like, woohoo, America! There was that last power of staying strong, but then you got to realize that war lasts for over 20 years before they finally just pulled out, and they left a bunch of millions or billions of dollars, at least millions of dollars worth of equipment over there, and now the Taliban's fully armed with American weapons and bazookas and planes and armors and all this different type of shit. So, you know, really not all that strong still. So they're just falling, man. They're just falling. They're falling apart, and that's why these Edomites are so out of make America great again. Make America great again. It's done. It's done. They're really trying their hardest to make it great again, and it's impossible, because the Lord doesn't want that to happen. It really is. It is impossible. It really is just impossible, and they're trying their hardest, man. They're trying their damnedest to just make America great again. They want that power like they used to have it, and you're not going to get it. You're not going to get it. It's not happening. This is Revelation 17 and 16, dealing with the scripture we're talking about. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. For Yahweh hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree to give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. Right? There you go. And let's get verse 18. It says, and the woman which thou sawest is the great city, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Then we're going to skip to Revelation 18 and 1, because this is what is going to happen. And I love this scripture. That's why it's in my name. This is Revelation 18 and 1. It says, and after those things, and after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the whole of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Okay, so this place is going to be abandoned. Okay, it's going to be completely destroyed. It's going to be like a desert, like a wilderness. And on top of that, no one's ever going to dwell in this place again. Okay, and it's not even, you're not going to even know where it is on the map. Okay, you're not going to even know where it is. Okay, it'll just be a place. We're not going to dwell there even after, the kingdom is established. It's going to be a place where we don't dwell. Okay, it's just going to be a desert for, unclean birds and beasts and all that stuff, right? And which is perfect that we got Revelation 18 in 2 and 1 and 2 through all that, because the next scripture we talk about actually brings up something along those lines, and this is what's going to happen to Babylon. It says, "And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah." And that's the last scripture that I have. So that's where we're going to really close out with it. But some parting notes is that, being that, Revelation 18 and 2 that we just got talking about shall be it's just going to be a dwelling place for clean, hateful birds, right? It shows you, that it's going to be likened to Sodom and Gomorrah. Can you go on a map and show me where Sodom and Gomorrah is? No, you cannot. It's not on a map no more. Okay? They can roughly approximate where it was. Okay? But do they really know where it was? The only way they can kind of tell is because there's an area with a bunch of sulfur. All right, I think they found a salt statue, which they believe to be Lot's wife. But that's the only way there's no way other than that. They just, came across it by that way. Okay? But the real, you're not going to, it was basically a place that's unknown. All right? You can't really just go and travel to Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay? And we're going to have all this place. All right? And that's going to be, there's plenty of places that we're going to be going. I'm sure we'll be having interdimensional travel. I don't know, like not interdimensional, maybe interdimensional. We don't know, but intergalactic travel is what I meant. Going to different planets and stuff. That's speculated and stuff. Probably go and see what the moon's like. All right, these other planets. All right, because Esau couldn't do it. All right, but we'll probably be able to go and see what they look like. And there's probably other planets that got different stuff on it that we don't even know about. All right, but of course, the Lord's not going to reveal that to Esau. But all these different things, and we're not going to be going to Babylon. Not going to be going to Babylon. All right, not going to be a place where we dwell. It's just going to be a place where there's a bunch of random beasts and creatures. So NATO allies cannot rely on America. That's a new thing that's being said. And hey, just one more step closer to Revelation 17 and 16. And their relations with their foreign relationships are getting real bad. All right, America's really, really fucking them up. And hey, it's all through Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. So call all Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai for that. Man, this place is being dismantled at an all-time high rate. So call all Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai for that. So that's where we're gonna close out. Right? Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Akakwadash. I want to say shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Till next one, Lord willing, shalom.